So here's my new kit. I think it cost me like $67. They're having a sale on them on eBay. So I just decided to try it. See if I can put this thing together and sell it and move on. It was just a cheap one. I want to try it. It's kind of like an Ibanez. So, one sec here. So here's the neck. It actually feels pretty good on the side. And pretty straight. So we'll give it a check and go from there. Anyway, it was boxed up good, came fast, and can't beat it for the price. So here's all the goodies that came with it. Also came, if you need this. But yeah, here's the goodies. This is a cheapy little bridge. Toners, pickups. I got plenty of them. I think I'm just gonna go all stock on this one and see what happens. First time. This is the first time for everything. So, ooh, strings. So I'm just gonna put it together and check the bridge and the neck alignment before I go crazy with this thing. So that's my mission for now. I'm pretty quick to set them up and see how they're looking, and then make any adjustments before I paint it. So learn my lesson before. These holes look, this one they look like they missed a little bit. So I'm just gonna put a screw in there now to hold the neck, and then I'll check the alignments. I'll put one of the back ones in so then I can twist it if I need to. So I'll go like that. And again, I always take these screws and put a little soap on them, grease them up a little bit so I don't snap them. Neck pocket's pretty good. It's pretty tight. So I'll set this up and do some measuring. Put down here. As you can see, looks like a Ibanez. So we'll go from there. I put the bridge on, minimum screws here. And then I put the 2 E strings on so I can get the left to right on this good. Use my little 3D printed tool here. Works nice. If you got a 3D printer, you can make yourself one of these up for free. So I'll string this thing up and see what the alignment is across. So I just sacrificed the two largest strings out of this pack because I never use the strings that come with these. And as you can see down the neck, it's pretty good. So I'll go ahead and throw another screw in there, and then I'll work on the action a little bit. See what I need to do with this, if I got to shim the neck or whatever. I just like to get it close before I go through all the trouble of painting it and find out I got a problem, which I did one time. I found out one time not measuring 12th down to here too. It was this thing was way off. I had to move it after I painted it, so I had to repaint it. All the screws are in. I gotta say they did a pretty good job lining up, except for that one kind of misstep. But I put these in first to save that one. It went right in, but everything's good. I might do a little tapering more on the neck here, but the neck needs a little work too. This is a pretty rough guitar, but that's all right. It gives me something to do. I'm retired, so I need these little hobbies. Keep me busy. So this nut's a little high, so I'll just pop that nut out and I'll sand off the bottom and drop it down, but it's got to go down. As you can see, when I press on the 3rd fret, it's still, zoom in there, it's still got too big a gap. So, but I'm getting pretty close down here. I like to get them about 2. And it's right at 2 now. So we're pretty close. I just got to lower the nut and we'll be all right. These screws are going to be a little long, but I got replacements for those. But we'll see how it goes. So we're at 25.5. So we're good. Bottom of nut to there. So I'm just going to tap the nut out. I already looked. I got to take off like a millimeter off this guy. So I'll just take it to my sanding block, sand it down, put it back in and try it again. Okay, just with a little bit of work. We got this thing. So zoom in here. So you can see it just barely clears now when I press on the 3rd fret. That's where we want to be. One other thing to check is you can see from there down there and then right here, it's a little taller. So I got to sand this side down a little bit more. So get those, you want that pretty even across the string height up top. I start sanding on this guy, I'll sand it and put some filler in it, wood filler. This body, you know, it's cheap. A little rougher than some bodies, but I mean, it's not terrible. It's just, you can kind of hear it. It's a little rougher than most, but this one's getting painted, so I don't have to go that crazy because I can use grain filler. By the time I put the coats of paint on, it'll be fine. I took it down with 80 grit just to get rid of the tooling marks because it was in here mostly and in here. So I use that, then I'm gonna grain fill it, and then I'll sand it smooth. So I just use spackling paste, and I smear it all in, let it set up. It will fill the grain and raise the grain because I mix a little bit of water with it. That's all I ever use. It's cheap. Then I'll use some sanding sealer over the top. So the neck, I just hit it with some 220. It wasn't too bad. And when I oil this neck, I'll steel wool it and everything, get this neck pretty smooth. But I'm just going to keep it natural with some oil for the neck, and we'll go from there. I sanded this headstock a little bit. Don't need much because I'm going to paint it anyway. So that gets black, and then I'm going to use some color shift. So I'm going to start applying my finish on my neck. I'm just going Japan dryer first on the neck. Helps this dry. Got the hint off Highline Guitars. Watch some of their videos. He's pretty good. He's got some long videos on the finishes, but it'll be pretty short here. So Japan dryer first, put it on, put the boiled linseed oil on, let that dry up for a bit, then I'll wet sand it and put another coat of this on there. So let's see what it looks like. Just keep in mind when you apply the Japan dryer, it'll change the color of the wood just slightly. So it'll dry out a little bit, but so does boiled linseed. I don't like painted surface necks. So this stuff here, what I'm doing here, it will just help the boiled linseed oil dry a little faster. Otherwise, it'll take a day or two. So this way it will dry 3 to 4 hours. Okay, there's the neck with the boiled linseed oil. It should go good. And well, I use this now. I was using True Oil, but True Oil's got such a short shelf life. I mean, I did one guitar with some older, and it really darkened up, and it worked out good for my project. That's the color I wanted. But if you want your neck to stay somewhat natural, yeah, you got to use that True Oil right away. It's got a short shelf life, where this stuff doesn't. All right. So this is dried now for an hour or so. So I'm just going to sand it with some 220 and get it ready for some primer paint. So it sands out pretty easy, being if it just does grain filling, that's all it's doing. Well, I'll do some sander sealer afterwards, sanding sealer, spray on, and should be ready for the coat of black. I'm going to go black, gray, and then a color shift. Let me see here. I use some color shift here. I'm going to try it first time. So we'll see. That was my samples. Okay. About 20 minutes of sanding, not too bad. That's why I like using the patch stuff. It sands easy, and it makes it a lot smoother. And like I said, I'm doing a paint. You'd do it differently if you were staining it, but I'm just doing paint finish, so I want this body to be smooth for the paint. So that's about it. So we'll go to the paint and prime, and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, we're ready for the next step. And I'm keeping this guitar. Remember, this guitar was $60 on eBay. I'm actually building one to sell, so I'm going to build this one up using all stock parts, going cheap, not adding a bunch of, like I usually change a bone nut, change the pickups, change the trim, but I'm not going to in this build. I'm just going to build it up and see how, I mean, it plays good. I put a whole thing together. I actually really liked it, but anyway, I like a lot of guitars and getting no room for them, so anyway, this one's going to go. Okay, she's in my paint booth, my bike rack paint booth. Comes in handy. But just going black and a little gray around the edges, so everything's good. It's a nice day out, so painting should go pretty good today. One thing I always tend to do is heat up my paint a little bit. I mean, it's a warm day. It's like, I don't know, 75 today, but I like to get the paint. It flows good, and I haven't got no splatter this way. So, and to tell you the truth, guys, I've had really good luck with the Behr paint in the spray cans. It actually, and I try to use flat colors. They're a lot easier to work with and to clear over later. So the first coat's on. I'll let this dry. I let it sit up for like 15 minutes. It's good to keep spraying your first few coats while it's still tacky. You want the paint to adhere to the other paint. And if you let it sit for a couple days, then you got to do a little color sand to it. Okay, it's shot black, gray, and the rest of it's black. And then it's time for this guy. So let's shoot it and see what it comes out like. Fingers crossed. Okay, she's painted. Comes out pretty good. You can see the sparkle there. The black turns pink kind of, and the gray just darkens up a little bit, but just wanted to do a little perimeter on it. See what it came out like. So, anyway, that's what we got. You see, this is supposed to be color shift, so as it changes the color a little bit as you turn it to the sun. So.